Hi, Sky. A very exciting Thursday it is. We're making a lot of progress on a lot of things today. Call of Duty comes out 8 o'clock p.m. here. Outer Worlds is already out for the Twitch influencers. Unfortunately, I am nowhere near that. I'm a Twitch uninfluencer, I guess you could say. I'm just that bad. But Outer Worlds comes out tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm renting it, so I'll have it probably a few days after. But I'll get to play that. Fallout 76 shot itself in the foot again. Just adding more love to Outer Worlds, so that's cool. Because initial reviews are good, and I kind of expected that. I thought Obsidian would do a fantastic job with this. Luigi's Mansion in a week. Busy time. Unfortunately, none of it has to do anything with the channel. Well, except for the stuff we're going to be doing here today on here. But nobody's watching these streams anyway. Again, on the channel. So, you know, whatever. I wish I had exciting channel news too, but I don't. But lots of good things happening gaming-wise. The next week, even beyond that. As we really get into the holiday season. Awesome! Congratulations! Good news! I wish this did better, so I did too. That's neither here nor there. Here to have fun. Is it actually down there? Yeah. Wow. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So if you haven't heard about the the Fallout 76 news, they finally decided to listen to the fan base, of which I have not been a part of for a long while now. but they finally just listen to the fan base and add things that they have been asking for since I played. Things like bigger loot stashes, because the limited amount of space really stinks, and some other things. The big thing to me was the loot stash for crafting ingredients, because you can gather so many crafting ingredients, and they want you to rebuild stuff. They want you to build things, but then you only have very limited inventory space. Like, it was so stupid. Anyway, it's like, okay, they finally listened. They're putting that in. Awesome. Great. And they've been making strides to make the game better. That's great. About a year now. And you can get all of that for the low, low price of a membership that you pay monthly for. Yeah, after all the problems that 76 has had, they take all the suggestions that people have been having for a long time now. There are still hardcore people that play that game, and kudos to them that they believed in the game. And they were all burned really hard yesterday. And everything they've been asking for got put behind a paywall. For a game that bombed so hard. Yeah, it's called 76 First. I forget the price off the top of my head. The price should be free with how bad you screwed up the game at launch. But, nope. Bethesda really screwed this one. You had people... Yeah, or... sorry, I didn't see those Gmails. Hi, yeah, we're talking about the Fallout 76 subscriptions. It's just... You had people who still supported you. Who gave you the biggest benefit of the doubt. It's like, okay, they screwed up, but they're making things better. And they were. And then you pull this crap. I feel bad for the fans who stuck with the game. I feel real bad for them. Because you botched that game so bad. Me and Doc played it for about a month and a half total. We went back at certain points to check things out. But man, why this? I hope the game becomes a wasteland. Get it? But I really do. Jokes aside. The fans deserve better. Which I am pleased to say, I have seen lots of initial reviews on Outer Worlds, and very happy with what I see. It's like the I keep seeing this. It's like the Fallout New Vegas sequel that you never got, except really goofy and in outer space. New initial reviews are really good. I'm very happy that that is the case, because I've been looking forward to Outer Worlds for a while, for months and months and months. With just so many things coming out, I didn't buy it. But I am renting it, and if it's super good, I'll probably keep it. So yeah, very, very happy for that. I was doing these lobby quests because I was here. Okay, on the docket today, we are going to work on the Anima weapon and then hit a huge wall. Like a massive wall. We're gonna do Botany level 53 quest, which I've leveled up to 56, as you can see. I might do the Cooking 53 quest. Well, no, because I don't have the stuff. Never mind. What was I gonna do? Oh, fishing level 50. I already caught the fish. It's a super pain, but did it, so we have that. And maybe story as well. A full docket of things today. I really do want to start with the fishing, just because I love the quest name. So lots of things today. Should be fun. The level 50 Fisher quest. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Since Boo needs your help with an emergency, I just love that it's so long, and thanks for all the fish. Gods, this is unbelievable. According to the age-old adage, when the going gets tough, the tough go fishing. Unfortunately, the adage is of little use when the tough going happens to be a fishing ban. Oh, that stinks. You haven't heard, have you? Enzar Safarzan has ordered closed all docks and ports for fishing vessels on the authority of Admiral Merowyn. Oh, that's bad. Some sorry sailors supposedly spotted a serpent at sea, so Sullivan stated that for our safety, all our services must cease. I love the alliteration there. Well, it's all so frustrating. Well, we may be a group of sedentary fishers, but we're not about to take the sitting down. Yeah, we sit as we fish usually, but we're not going to take the sitting down. All right, calm down. First, we need to know what we're up against. The Bouger Consortium maintains ties to the Maelstrom, so Sybil may know something we do not. It's time to go fishing for information. Got it. Tell me. It's certainly a pleasure to see you again, though I wish it were under happier circumstances. The news came as a shock to us as well. Any Lominson who boarded a boat has heard the tale. Back when the world was naught but a dry, lifeless rock, Limon created a giant serpent. From its massive maw, the creature spat forth water until the land was filled. But it would not stop. To prevent the world from being completely submerged, the navigator trapped the serpent in a floating island with the warning if it were ever to be freed, the seas would rise until the world ended. This is where the theocratic motto, till sea swallows us all. Till sea swallows all. Oh, okay. Comes. Can you imagine the admiral's surprise upon learning a sailor claims to actually have seen the serpent in question? While you and I may recognize it as a fairy tale aimed to scare children, the panic in the streets is real. So, I think that's the Vice Admiral, right? Hasn't had any choice but to take drastic measures to the Marshal, right? In order to maintain the peace. Regrettably, those drastic measures have dire consequences for both your guild and my consortium. And the Maelstrom is too occupied with ship inaugurations to conduct a proper inquiry. Meaning, our only hope is to take matters into our own firm, yet supple hands. It may be impossible to prove the sea serpent does not exist, but perhaps the testimony of the eyewitness can be impugned. I believe you have met the sailor responsible for the sighting, the one known as Chicharoon. Chicharoon see big fish at sea. Some say see sea serpent. Chicharoon just want fish to fish. See fisherman Wawalago about fishing in sea. Alright. Let's go talk to the guildmaster. I've seen enough at sea to know when sailors are seeing things, and what Chicharoon saw was no sea serpent for sure. Missing your marks will make mountains out of molehills. Distances deceive and delude the minds of men at sea. My money says your serpent is a Mazzaline marlin. Fairly big fish, but by no means a monster. You can see them barreling back and forth along the north of Bloodshore. But if spied from the shore, people just shrug their shoulders. You need to make them meet that marlin up close and personal. I'll admit it's easier expressed than executed, and I've never nabbed one. If you don't loosen up your line, they'll rip your rod right out of your hands. But first, you need a bite. They won't waste their breath on worms from other waters. Mazzaline marlins demand mooching. More familiar to you as fish wheeling, perhaps. And not just any act of mooching, but the daunting duty of the dramatic double mooch. I reckon you're ready for it. Get a goby ball and haul in a harbor herring. Once you hitched your herring, offer it up to an ogre barracuda, then bait that beast to make the Mazzaline marlin bite. Makes me want to sell out myself, but Slavazar would slay any guildmaster who slights him. Besides, I'm sure Sisyphus would sooner see you succeed at it. Yes, so, it's just like it said there. You have to catch a high quality... I want to make sure I get the fish right. You use a goby ball to catch a high quality harbor herring. Then you mooch that and hope you catch a high quality ogre barracuda. Then you have to mooch that into hoping that you catch the Mazzaline marlin. It's tedious. It really was. I spent a while doing that. But it's done. Hip hip hooray. That's the marlin? I can see how some might mistake it for a monster. Hopefully, stuff flies in we'll see it the same. Come, Sybil arranged for us to speak with the Grand Storm Marshal. Okay, he is the Marshal. Right. Formerly, what was the name? Formerly, Super Pirate. It's just like anything else you make high quality. You can catch high quality fish. So many moons has it been. Could scarcely remember the last time I boarded a merchant ship for anything other than an inspection. Quite comfortable indeed aboard the luxurious fleet of the Rouge Air Consortium. No doubt to put crooked mongers and traffickers at ease while making illicit deals at sea. Perish the thought! We would never dream of calling the Grand Storm Marshal to a vessel where such roguery took place. Miss Beard, thank you. Shame. I imagine these sort of vessels were the most fun. I suppose then we best tend to business. He was like, oh man, I was hoping for some the good old days. But nobody else knows that. Of course, sir. Allow me to introduce you to the Mazatlan Marlin. Whoa, it's way bigger when they put it like that. That's awesome. Great Lamian's ghost! That blarley thing is massive! How did you catch it? A lot of time. Took me a few hours. A lot of time, some luck, and at least decent gear. Though I suppose that doesn't matter. At any rate, it's your contention that this marlin is our sea serpent? You can sing yourself to sleep with that silly sea serpent story, but it still won't hold water. I knew things were proceeding too smoothly. You always know just the wrong time to act the guildmaster, don't you? It's like, why are you acting like the guildmaster now? Never you mind. I've known Wawalago long enough not to mind his manners. Unlike his fish, I know when I'm being baited. Boy, you've been baiting and bullying us with your band. Will you let up and lift it? A fine question. To lift the fishing ban or not to lift the fishing ban? What to do, what to do, what to do. On one hand, I could lift the ban. But on the other... Now who's the one baiting? Why not? Of course, there are formalities we must observe, so I'm afraid the declaration will have to wait until tomorrow. And the ban will be lifted, won't it? Unless you prefer it weren't. By no means, it's just... I fear that simply bringing you a large fish might fail to serve as adequate evidence in overturning a formal military proclamation. Well, I never really believed in all this sea serpent silliness in the first place. It was more about putting the Minson's minds at ease than anything else. And the marlin you brought me should accomplish just that. A few of our more paranoid conspiracy theorists in the Maelstrom allege the serpent to be part of an elaborate Sahagan plot. So this should make for a nice laugh at their expense as well. And to think, this all started because someone spotted a large fish. And because fish tails are wont to grow in size, the large fish became serpent-sized and then ceased to be a fish altogether. Makes you wonder what other sort of overblown fantasies we've all been led to believe. Sounds like you were ready to lift the ban whether we brought you the marlin or not. If only it were that simple. A fine Grand Storm Marshal I would have been if I went lifting bans willy-nilly without any evidence the problem had been solved. This marlin is essential to assuaging the irrational fears of the public. Well, then I suppose Cinder's efforts weren't for naught, after all. I only wonder how the fish trail grew out of proportion in the first place. I don't delight in delving into details, but that deed might have been my doing. Why am I not surprised? When I mentioned... Oh, his eyes are different color. I didn't notice that before. When I mentioned to Chicharoon that the Mazalin Marlin was a monster, I meant it metaphorically, but mayhap be misunderstood. I think it would be in best interest if all involved if I don't hear any more of this story. I'm gonna peace out. The Maelstrom expresses his gratitude for your efforts in bringing this evidence to light. Your guild will be notified when the fishing ban is formally lifted. I bid you good day. And then it was all just blown out of proportion. Terrifying to think a little exaggeration could get out of hand, particularly when you consider how often fishmen exaggerate. But sounds like the marshal knew something was fishy all along. Nevertheless, you saved our guild from the destruction at the hands of an imaginary sea serpent. Funny how Nemokia delivered you to our doorstep just when we needed you most. And I certainly can't consider you a guppy anymore, now that you've caught a marlin the guildmaster himself never quite reeled in. I'd say we name you the guildmaster, but then Wabalago would have nothing to dodge, and I'm not ready to let that fish off the hook so easily. Yeah, he just like, alright, sweet, and then just go off and fish and try to woo the ladies. That's all. Not giving him the easy way out. But I suppose we could at least let him know he has a rival. And that might be your finest fishing accomplishment of all, luring Wabalago back to work. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Because this would be the end of fishing. Back in A Realm Reborn. Halcyon Rod. But I do have the Forger Fishing Rod. 99 Northern Krill. Live bait for ocean fishing. And I do need fishing stuff. Oh, I gotta get the hat. 100% have to get that. This concludes the Fisher quest for Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn. In order to undertake the next series of quests, you must meet the following requirements, which you already know. Same requirements they've always been. However, we do reach those requirements. Yes. It's like Wabalago's hat. Which is awesome. We're keeping this hat forever. Because it's amazing. Plenty more fish in the sea. Sisboo has a rod in her hand and a cloud on her brow. Well, if it isn't my old friend Sindrel, and not a minute too soon. Not that I don't appreciate your company or anything, but I need you to go and deliver something for me right away. Wabalago's had visitors, you see. And not only did the poor fellow have to put up with our dear guildmaster blathering on about who knows what for hours on end, but he left his rod behind as well. Would you mind taking it back to him? If If it was just the rod that was at stake, I'd get that lazy guild master of ours to take it back himself. But this fellow is a master fisherman who's traveled to every corner of the world. According to Wawalago, he knows all about these secret fishing spots that aren't on any of our charts. Hence why you're the man for the job. Not only can you be trusted to get his precious pole back to him in one piece, but you can have a chat with this chap and learn something useful in the bargain. It wouldn't do for our guild's angling ace to fall behind on his studies. Mayhap he'll tell you about some far-flung fishing holes that even the famous Wawalagos never heard of, and you'll be able to test your mettle against a whole new kettle of fish. The fisherman you're looking for is a Lazian fellow called Ensolome. He's staying at the Drowning Wench. If you hurry, you should be able to catch him before he heads off on his travels again. And there's our Heaven's Ward music. Heaven's Ward quest accepted. Thanks for the series. Well, this time I was on my way. Another pint of Baldian's Peculiar, and I'm like to fall asleep in the snow. Oh, hello there. Something I can help you with? Yeah, your rod. A dark stain situated at the lower end of the weathered rod suggests it has been someone's tackle of choice for quite a long while. Goodness, is that my rod? I left it at the Fisherman's Guild, you say? Dear me, I was having so much fun catching up with my old friend Wawalago that I forgot about my most faithful companion. I thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out of your way to return it to me. Are you a member of the guild then? I don't recall seeing your face down in Fisherman's Bottom. You are? Good show, lad. It's always a pleasure to speak with a fellow fish fancier. Tell me, what's your biggest catch so far? Marlas and marlin? You caught a marlin? Hold on a moment. You're not Syndril, are you? The fellow who lifted the fishing band and saved the guild? Wawalago told me all about you, and in the most glowing of terms. Pleasure to meet you, Syndril. Wish I could stick around and chat, but it's past time I was heading home to Ishgard. If you're ever in that area, come and visit me, and tell me all about your adventures in angling. Like as not, you'll find me in the Forgotten Knight. You could say he's the Drowning Wench's long-lost lover. Drop in whenever you like, and I'll give you a guided tour of some of my homeland's best spots to drop a lure. Till then, Syndril. Bye, Salman. Plenty more fish in the sea. But first... we can do a few things. Maybe we can try. Let me grab this one first. It's always below me. Storming the hole. Oh, look who's back in Limsa Mensa. Me and the chief were just talking about you, you know? Come to think of it, wait here. I'll go and get him. It's his resting day, but he wants to speak to you. Something about the Holebreaker. Something about Holebreaker. Okay. So it's be Holebreaker Isle Hard. Nice. Glad to see you back, Syndril. Every time I hear your name, I'm reminded of how you helped me salvage that coffer from Holebreaker Isle. You did me a great favor, lad. Though the rumors of Miss Spear's treasure soon died down, I couldn't abide the thought of having the Har picked apart by vultures. Wait, that was the name of the ship? Man, what a strong name for a ship. The Har. Legendary name for a ship. The name of a unit that can take on a whole game by himself. So I petitioned the Admiral to sanction the establishment of a camp on the island for the purpose of hosting training exercises. A reason that the place was remote enough to give our recruits a proper taste of combat. But, truth be told, with all the administrative duties asked of them these days, I'm more worried about our finest going soft. Sparring with your comrades might keep the rust from your blade, but it won't stop it going dull. That being the case, I thought I might ask you for your help in a little sharpening exercise. Remind them what it's like to be in a real fight. Aye, the chief was hoping you might run the Maelstrom's training gauntlet and give our elites a good going over. Nothing too rough like. Just a few missing teeth and the old cracked ribs, savvy? Assuming you're willing, come and find me at the Morbay Dry Docks when you're ready, and I'll arrange passage to Hullbreaker for you and your mates. Things are getting serious. Some worrying news concerning Pharaoh Sirius. Syndrol, perfect timing as always. We're in need of your talents to deal with some trouble brewing over in the Isles of Umbra. Seems a pack of kobolds have made a grab for Pharaoh Sirius. The smiths working on the restoration barely made it out alive. Maelstrom Command's drawing up plans to take back the tower, with Master Mimidoa advising on how things stand on the ground. But when they asked him for his opinion, he kept going on about some adventurer from long past that helped him drive off a siren from the same spot. Now, no disrespect to the old fella, but we don't have the firmest grasp on what happened when. So, we couldn't help wondering if maybe his hero of yore was none other than your fine self, you being a siren slayer and all. What do you say? Willing to lend us an hand and relighten the beacon? Yeah, alright. Knew I could count on you. One of our storm flyers is making the final preparations at the airship landing now. Tell her Treshet send you, and she'll give you the particulars. Things are getting serious. German for hair? That's cool. Har as in Har from, I was talking about Fire Emblem 9 and 10. In particular, 10. Which is not a good Fire Emblem by any stretch of the imagination, but Har is amazing in it. He's a legend. Sure, you're a hero of yore. You have a weapon of yore after all. That's true. Syndrol, your katana has come to sit well at your hip. 'Tis plain your experience exercising evil has matured you as a samurai. I have had an eventful time in this salt-kissed city. In the course of seeking evil, I came under the suspicion of the local peacekeepers, the Mellow Packets. A serial killer has been terrorizing these parts, 'twould seem, whose weapon of choice is an uncommonly sharp blade, one not unlike ours. So I found myself confronted and questioned. Thanks to Momozigo's testimony, however, the pale of suspicion was quickly lifted. Not only that, but we were even permitted to examine the victim's wounds. There can be no doubt they were inflicted by a katana. The killer may well be a samurai, yet a true samurai does not take life without just cause. Murder is heinous in its own right. Committing it with our noble weapon compounds the crime. Such evil cannot be suffered. So, there you have it. We're going after a serial killer. I must say, I'm morbidly excited. Right, let's begin by talking to the people in Hawker's Alley. Right, mellow packets. What are they supposed to be? I know that's not right. I'll take the third packet. Yellow jackets, right, the yellow jackets. No, the mellow packets. I prefer the mellow packet. I like when he gets things wrong because of dialect. You see, when I think Yellow Jackets, all I think of is Twin Adder. That's why I was freaking about him. Shall we dance? Maybe later. Serial killings? Don't get me started. We, all of us, have been on edge. One of the victims was a regular of mine. Navigator, rest his soul. Killer make Quaquar dead. Make Koikoi Rune afraid. Afraidfully afraid. Recent murders? Gruesome business, that. And it seems no one's safe neither. Even a traveler got himself sliced up, the unlucky sod. That's not good. Those Crystal Brave uniforms were awesome. I did like the look of those. Patron, a traveler, and a quick urn. The victims do not seem to have anything in common. However, the circumstances of their deaths are strikingly similar. They all vanished in the vicinity of the docks, before later turning up as corpses. Killer, it seems to me, targets those who happen to pass along the landing. Completely random then? What a frightening thought. Now that we know this, what do we do next? We set a trap. Lure the killer out by walking around the area in question in the black of night. When he emerges from the shadows, we apprehend him. Ah, a solid plan. So, who's the lucky one who gets to be the bait? Me? Oh, no, actually, moments ago. Did we both turn and look at moments ago? That's funny. What? Wait, what? Why me? Though the victims have not in common, it must be noted that none of them were armed. In other words, the killer preyed on the defenseless. With our katana at our hips, Sindral and I shan't make enticing bait. Conversely, were we to forego our weapons, we would be ill-equipped to subdue the villain. And so it falls to you. Ah. Take heart, my friend. Both of us shall be close at hand, ready to pounce or you may come to harm. Let us go to the docks. Okay. Hey, Wawalaga. It is time. Let us set the trap. Oh, look here. It's him! That blade. Yeah, it looks super fancy. By the kami, Mama Zigo. By the kami, I like that. That scream was loud enough to wake the dead. Small wonder the villain fled with such haste. It wasn't intentional. What's done is done. Besides, our mission was not entirely without fruit. The killer's blade. It is known to me. Some while ago, a wealthy merchant of this land came to Kugane, a port of Hingashi. The man had a fetish for blades and proceeded to buy up the finest he could find. I chanced to inspect the wares at one of the many swordsmiths this merchant visited, and noted a unique katana marked for delivery of his ship. The selfsame katana the killer wields. Furthermore, according to the shopkeeper, the merchant was a laughabelle. Laughabelle! Yes! Now forever is laughabelle. Yes. Was he Lalavellan merchant, you say? Well, in this area there's Jijiruju, whom I once entertained with the dance troupe. But for all his vices, he doesn't strike me as a serial killing sort. Heck no. They got too much money for that. Be that as it may, this is our sole lead for now. Where do we find this man? At a resort in Costa del Sol, most like. But I'm doubtful he's the one we're after. Oh, we're definitely not after him, but we can get information on maybe who he sold the katana to. Isn't he the super rich merchant? Like owner of Costa del Sol, like has nation money. Let's do other things here first. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Proceed to the airship landing. Sindro, honored to have you with us. The situation is developing even as we speak, but I'll do my best to explain what we know. According to Master Mimadoa, he and his fellow smiths barely escaped with their lives when the kobolds began scattering bombs around the lighthouse's foundations. That stinks. Believes the beastmen intend to blow Pharaoh Sirius to pieces, thus disrupting our most vital supply route to and from western Lonuska. Needless to say, this cannot be permitted. Act swiftly, before wrecks begin to pile up around Ailport. That's where you come in. Kobolds have sealed off the ground entrance, so we propose to take you to the top of the tower by airship, and then we'll go from the top down. Stress the need for caution. Master Mimadoa suspects that if the kobolds are bent upon destroying Pharaoh Sirius, they will have more than a handful of flaming void scent at their disposal. One inopportune explosion could set the restoration back by moons, if not years. You know as well as I do how volatile bombs can be. Were to save the beacon, we had best leave soon. Pharaoh Sirius hard. Okay. Always bombs. There's Mimadoa. Ever since we took control of that rock, it's been my job to keep an eye on the skies over the Sedalis. When the misty mane of the Doxy's pole sweeps in, there ain't no point weighing anchor as you can't see an elm in front of your face. Long story short, I have to stay here and watch the weather, but I'll be listening out for word on how you get on. Thanks for agreeing to do this, by the way. Having a fabled hero like yourself go through the same regiment as the infantrymen will do wonders for morale. Any road, the weather seems to be behaving just now, so let me know when your crew's ready to be ferried over. We'll get everything else in place in the meantime. Give them storm elites a bloody nose from me, eh? Hullbreaker Isle. Hard. So there's that. And now to Costa del Sol. Who disturbs my slumber? Oh, if it isn't the resourceful and supremely forgiving adventurer. I see you brought company today, and of the far eastern persuasion besides. How very erotic. Or exotic, not erotic. Very exotic, not erotic. But today, he'd be into that too. But come, what is it you wish of me? Truly now, yours truly a suspect in the serial killings? But, of course, it is a mistake, and no mistake about it. However, I do have an inkling as to who the culprit might be. Gurumi Borlumi. He's your man. He made a fortune in trade and indulges in extreme excesses, which, coming from me, is saying something. I mean... But, most relevant to your investigation, is the fact he's obsessed with all things Far Eastern and owns an extensive collection of katana. Why, just the other day, at a social gathering, he was bragging on about one such weapon as though it was his firstborn. When he said he wanted to feel what it was like to cut a man down, we all had a good chuckle, assuming he was speaking in jest. That man did always strike me as touched, but to think he would actually go and do the deed? To kill simply to satisfy his own twisted urges. This is no man, but a fiend in a man's skin. Master Jejaruju, we were wrong to suspect you and humbly beg your forgiveness. Will you tell us where to find this depraved creature? On a ship where he lives. It's at anchor nearby for now, but I should warn you he recently mentioned wanting a change of scenery. A ship? It's gonna be tough to sneak aboard, but if we miss this chance, who knows when there'll be another. Oh, thank your lucky stars, for it just so happens I've received an invitation from Gurumi Belormi to attend a banquet aboard his, and I quote, vessel of myriad pleasures. You may have it. A small token of my remorse to you, my dear adventurer. Show it to the man's retainer at the pier, and you will be shown to his ship. And you, showmaster, I will lend you my garb. Disguised as yours truly, none should raise an eyebrow were you to have bodyguards in your company. And with that, I bid you success. Gurumi Borlumi is a troublesome business rival, and I shan't shed a tear at his demise. He's like... he gets stuff out of this, too. Obviously. Businessman. But we'll get to bring this person to justice. Game? We are great. Okay, that was weird. We are grateful. Without further ado, let us assume our roles and head to the pier. Why do I have a terrible feeling about this? It's fun. Everything's fun. Is he dressed up? Yes! Awesome. Master Jijiru and company, you do us a great honor. The invitation, if I may. Thank you for the invitation. All appears in order. Thank you kindly. If you would care to step aboard, we shall cast off presently. Sync 56. I'll have access to all my abilities. Unfortunately, my gear is not up to snuff. But hopefully I can get through. Look at this thing. He's able to do it, was it Far Eastern culture? Like, completely like that, even though we haven't been there yet. I definitely get the vibe. Your dedication to your passion is beyond impressive, my lord. Would that we had all had your fine taste. Come now, we've scarcely scratched the surface. Save some wonderment for my prized katana. Ah, Master Jejiruju. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. I say, are those samurai I see beside you? A commendable first effort, my lord, but they pale in comparison to my katana collection. You would flaunt the blades you used to cut down innocents? Twisted fiend, your reign of terror ends here. Huh? Wait, we don't know that it's... You're not Jijiruju, are you? And yet I would swear we've met. Damn right we've met! I'm the would-be prey who screamed his lungs out! Ah, yes, from the other night. You see, 'tis well and good to admire a blade upon a stand, but its true place is in one's hand. This I discovered to my sheerest ecstasy. Okay, definitely is him now. Yeah, let's go. The law is too good for the likes of you. You shall face the self-same end you visited upon innocents. I agree. Not only do you sneak uninvited into a private gathering, you make violent threats against an upstanding citizen. It seems I have no choice but to summon the guards. Now, let us step above and pray put on a good show. I have a reputation as a host to uphold. Okay. Or Strigursion? Koi! Time for you to... Koi! It's time to work for your keep. Oh! Who are you? I want your hat. I also want to be able to have, like, a toothpick in my mouth like that. That is no way to hold a katana. You are no true samurai. But I still want the hat. Bah, like there's a difference. Samurai's just a swordsman what fights with a katana. And this champion gladiator's gonna show you how it's done. Now holding it properly. I do want the hat though for other classes. You know, I have the fisherman one, but I want that one. I like that shade of blue too. That's really nice. You heard that, Syndrome? Difference is lost on this man. We must free him from his ignorance. Agreed. Hold it. I've a mind to savor this. We shall save you for last. Let us warm the deck with an opening act. Clap, clap. Ninja. Of course. Now, we enjoy the spectacle. I, too, shall observe. You alone are more than enough for these false shinobi. Fake ninjas. Have at him! Let's go. This is a part of your training. Finish them swiftly, my people. Oh, there's a lot of them. To extend the time. Bring it. Tis a fiend who resorts to using a fiend. False shinobi you leave to me. Okay. He already killed them. Yeah, we get your pet. Time to unleash the samurai. Let's take some heads. The last act of this gaudy circus. Man is a pretender who knows not how to hold a blade. Huh, I know that such a clumsy stroke. Seeing it fair makes my eyes bleed. Slinging mud, you have no armor. Stun me. Like I said though, clumsy. You're no samurai, nor a gladiator. You're but a craven. Oh, he fully resists stun. Done. Not supposed to play out like this. The banquet is over. Come, Syndrome. We give chase. Ooh, that was rough. My gear's basically the starting gear, except the katana is slightly better. That was rough, but we got through it. That is as far as you go. Who are you? I am Musashi, and this is my pupil, Syndrome. We seek out the wicked and exact justice upon them. Musashi? The legendary swordsman whose tales I heard in Kugane? Small wonder my guards did not stand a chance. Even legends bleed, and with my transcendent katana, I am more than a match for you. Come, this blade shall drink deep of your lifeblood. Unrepentant fiend, you belong not in a gallows, but in hell. Say your prayers to whatever kami you keep. You needn't befoul your blade with scum such as this. We accomplished our goal of excising evil, and for that I am glad. But this outing leaves much to be desired for your training. For you see, a samurai learns best when he faces a fellow samurai of equal skill. Alas, they are hard to come by in this land, and a pretender such as that whom you faced is no substitute. Whew, we did it! Pats on the backs for everyone, especially me. Now, what's this about you being a legend back at home? 'Tis ancient history. Whatever I may have been in the past, I am but as you see me, an old man long past his prime. Yeah, he drew the blade, swung, and resheathed it before we could see it. Maybe... He's past his prime. In his prime, he was unbeatable then. Well done, my friend. It's kind of unbeatable now. You have rid us of a depraved monster. His was a brutal end, but it was no more than he deserved. Justice well served indeed. Rest assured this mess will be cleaned up. As they say, what happens in the soul stays in the soul. In your debt, my lord. Do you think this quest is a statement about weebs? I guess you could take it that way. I don't. Our work here is done. One fewer evil afflicts. Sosai, are you alright? Worry not. I shall be fine. My endurance is not as it once was, is all. Come, my friends, let us move on, to wherever the wind should blow. And the wind blows, 'twould seem, to the forest. Momozigo, pray lead on. The forest? You mean Gridania? Oh dear, right, of course, this way. Oh, I know all about Gridania. A nation at one with the forest. Simply being here is salve for the soul. Yet even amidst such seeming serenity, untold wickedness may lurk. Till such a time as we find it, pray continue applying yourself to our art. Right then, I'll go about making inquiries at once. Okay. Now, I can take the level 56 quest, but I'm not going to because, well, that last one was hard, and I feel my gear will not be up to snuff. So we'll wait on that. Alright, let's get this garbage over with. We need to take... more done. I don't remember where this chick is. There she is. Remember her just being in the hallway. Alright, Anima weapon materials. For everything, you need 10 unidentifiable bone, shell, ore, and seeds. And then 4 adamantite Francescas, 4 titanium alloy mirrors, 4 dispelling arrows, and 4 king cake. Done. Then we take all this. Get everything we need? Good. Hand it over. Weapon 2. Adashir's ready to work on the Soul Stone, but he won't shut up about it. At least now it'll all be over. And hand over the stuff. Good on you, lad. Now then, let us make a weapon, eh? Let's. Can't say I've ever forged something quite so extraordinary. A weapon fit for your growing anima. Nay, something more than that. A beauty worthy of ballads. Majestus. The gods themselves would be jealous of a staff so fine. I like the glow on it. The glowing jewel. Which is not a reference to anything off the top of my head. Like nothing Final Fantasy that I can think of for sure. Looks cool though. I do like we got the got the thing. Hey, you all don't see this? What? Did you all not see? Thank you. You're welcome. Oh, and back into the weapon it goes. Wait till Rowena takes a gander at this. We keep this up and she'll be giving me notes of promise. To be honest, I once questioned what use I had for a drunkard with a hammer, but you've proven yourself to be quite the competent blacksmith, when you're sober. Sidro, I'm at a loss at how to express my thanks. You look danger in the eye, unflinching, risking life and limb to help me. Hope someday I can repay your kindness. Sure, he carried it around a bit, but I made the damn thing. Don't I deserve a little more than left-handed compliments? What? The Anima manifested it again? When? Just now. You two didn't see it? Floated right in between you. But I didn't see anything. Are you certain? Why is it only you are able to see the Anima when it chooses to present itself? Because I'm awesome? Maybe it's got no interest in the likes of you. Suppose the Anima is not yet strong enough. Perhaps one day, after it is fully matured, we too will be able to behold its wonders. This calls to mind the Varian literature on the Zodiac Braves, legendary heroes who wielded arms of unparalleled strength. Yeah, I have one of those. soon they will tell tales of a new legend. You and your Anima weapon. Don't be getting ahead of yourself, lad. There's no denying its beauty. There's still room for improvement. You just said yourself the anime ain't fully matured yet. I don't need you to remind me of such things. Huh, how I feel about my comment section these days. I've kept a rather comprehensive account of everything we have done thus far. With all the data I have collected, it's only a matter of time before the next step in fostering the anima is clear. Which reminds me, Central, if you would care to read over my notes on our work, you are more than welcome to pore over them at your leisure. They are on the table just over there. Aye, that's the way, lad. Every step brings us closer to finishing this bleeding weapon, brings me a step closer to a life free from debt and that gill-swindling wench, Rowena. Your weapon has been forged anew, and the anima strength blossoms. Anima crossing. Animaniac. Majestus. Which will be... Oh, that's gone for 3 minutes. Which will be... here. Because I haven't placed in the armory chest. Majestus. Animal weapon. Still doesn't quite hold up to the one that I bought, of course. But back then, this was extremely strong. Just the look of it, though, is awesome. I do like that. Oh, also, I made it to 300 player recommendations, and I got this new barding for the chocobo, and it puts the crown on its head, and I really like it, so I'm using that. Which you get for 300 player accommodations. But we're not done. Finding your voice. Please note, upon completing the quest, finding your voice, you'll receive an anima weapon for a white mage. Adishir has made a breakthrough in his study of the anima. We made remarkable progress, Syndrome, but our work is far from over. If we are to create a truly free-thinking weapon, we must empower the anima to do more than utter a few unintelligible words to its wielder. Moreover, it must be encouraged to recognize you not only as the rightful owner of the weapon, but also as a companion to whom it can turn for guidance. A companion who senses its presence where no other can. Okay. Quite why that should be as a question which confounds me for some time. This is the weapon quest. We just did this part. This is the Majestus for the anima weapon, but we're going to take it a step further. It was only after spending countless days poring over my notes that the answer came to me. In my efforts to predict the anima's rate of growth, I realized I had overlooked an important variable. You, my friend. Which is why I took the liberty of investigating you and your dealings in Eorzea. Huh? You are possessed of a rare power known to some as the Echo, are you not? Echo. Correct. I've read it conveys a preternatural sensitivity to the psyches of others. And what is the anima but a nascent psyche? You're saying you've got to have special powers just to see the bloody thing? Special powers what only a handful of folks got. Well, that's just great, that is. Even if Syndrome and his Echo sporting mates buy 10 weapons each, they ain't like to spend the sums Rowena's got in mind, meaning me debts are set to go unpaid. Unless, of course, you've thought of a solution?
As a matter of fact, I have. Unlike the quasi-souls of golems and other constructs, the Anima is unique in that it was created using the pure ethereal energies of astral and umbral nodules. As such, it bears no residential imprint of another psyche, and therefore possesses the potential for cognizance and growth. Having no reason or desire to grow, golems can typically subsist almost indefinitely on the energy in their initial ethereal infusion. The Anima, however, is quite different. Being in a state of constant development, it requires a constant supply of ether, and while it is capable of sustaining itself by drawing upon the naturally occurring ether of its immediate surroundings, I have theorized that the cause of its marked growth to this point is, in fact, its close proximity with you, Syndril. Your weapon serves as a conduit between you and the Anima, feeding it energy at a steady, a bit slow pace. If we could somehow improve the weapon's conductivity, I am certain it would promote faster growth, enhancing the Anima's ability to communicate. But that is not all. Should we improve the conductivity sufficiently, the resultant strengthening of the connection between Anima and wielder could, in theory, facilitate communication even in the absence of the echo, felling two birds but with a single stone. Which is where you come in, Geralt. Do you think you can improve the ethereal conductivity of our Anima's lodgings?
Can't bloody well say no now, can I? I reckon I should be able to get the aether flowing a bit freer between Syndril and the Anima, but it'll come at a cost. By improving the weapon's conductivity, it'll become extra sensitive to anyone touching it, and that includes me when I'm pounding on it with me hammer. My energy's pouring into the Anima could muddle up whatever relations Syndril's already got with it. I mean, if the bloody thing was to take after me instead of old Syndril here.
Yes. I will not deny that taking after a man of your character could certainly prove problematic. But how would you go preventing such contamination?
Contamination? Cheeky little shite. Any Anima'd be lucky to take after me. Not this one, on account of how it's Syndril's. Don't go worrying your pretty little head anyway, because unlike you, I think my plan's through. It's a matter of making me tools impassable to aether, in case you're wondering. Luckily, I've done something similar before. While I was working with another annoying scholarly type, we developed a little trick called soul glazing. It's used to insulate weapons, but me tools shouldn't be no different. Of course, I didn't actually make the soul glaze myself, but I got a fair idea of what might stand in for it. According to a glowing ball I was talking to, the Alleghanians used something called aether oil in their metalworking, and it did pretty much the same job. It's sure to be rare, expensive, or a bit of both, but you got the experience with this sort of thing, don't you, lad? So run along and find us 5 pots of aether oil for me hammer and anvil, will ya? We're none of us getting any younger.
Alright. I am, of course, grateful to you for identifying a solution, but it is but a pity you did not think to ask this glowing ball of yours where to acquire it. Mayhap next time you could think your plan through a little more, yes? I apologize for this gross imposition, but I fear we must have that aether oil if we're to proceed.
Yeah, you should apologize to me for the next step.
In the meantime, Geralt and I will continue researching how best to foster the Anima's development.
Alright, you can get this, where you get everything else, at Rowena's, for 350 Alleghanian Tombstone and Poetics each. Now you need 5. So, that is 1,750. That's a lot. But I've already bought them. me turn it. Oh. The journal? No. In the inventory. There it is. Like, I have them. The Majestus has to be in the inventory. Got it. Alright, hand it over. Hand over the 5 pots of the Aether Oil.
Well done, friend. While you were abroad acquiring these, we saw to the rather less onerous matter of our own preparations. In the process, we happened upon an archive with a particularly riveting selection of tests and aethochemical research that may well prove useful in the future. Alas, I was only able to steal a few cursory glances at their contents, as Geralt was intent upon sneaking off to drown himself in ardent spirits. Would that he were as keen to immerse himself in his work.
Pious little prick. A youngin' like you wouldn't understand. It's me muse, me inspiration. All me best ideas come after drowning something strong.
Is that right? Then what a pity you abstained for as long as you did. Had you only been a little more inebriated, mayhap you would have devised a plan which didn't involve putting Sindral to such trouble.
I don't want to hear it, you pious little shite. So the next step, which I've already read up on. Shut your gob and coat me in with that Aether Oil before I crack one of them pots over your head.
There. Applying the oil was much easier than I expected. How did you fare with your hammer?
She's oiled up and ready for action. No telling how long the coating will last, though. Time to get pounding.
Please do be careful, Geralt. Sindral went to great lengths to procure that oil. I would not have him go through all that trouble again through any error on our part.
Think you're forgetting who you're talking to, lad. My only errors making weapons what are too good for their owners. Present company accepted, of course. Besides, I downed a bottle of the good stuff not long ago. It never felt better.
Well, I am glad to hear... Wait, did you say a bottle? A whole bottle? 7 hells, man. I cannot in good conscience allow you to work in your condition.
Bah, don't be so daft. It weren't bad stuff. At least, I don't think it was. I found it when you're reading all of them aethocomical what's the names. Any road, only one way to find out how good it really was. It's hammering time.
How is that possible? Such swift, precise movements. And his eyes. Never have I seen them so sharp. Is he quite certain it was alcohol he drank and not some manner of invigorating tonic? This is not the drunkard I imagined when Rowena introduced us. Maybe we should keep another bottle on hand, in case you should be required to craft something else, I mean. Huh, yeah.
And it actually got him to focus. That's crazy. Like, that's nuts. There, a taste of me true talents. Next time, maybe you'll believe old Geralt when he tells you about the redeeming power of a stiff drink. Now then, Sindral, hold her up, see how she feels. Like an extension of your arm, I'll bet, or with the aether flowing so free. Alright. Genuine, bona fide bleeding masterpiece, fashioned for the realm's greatest adventure by her greatest living blacksmith, hyperconductive Majestus.
Magnificent. Simply magnificent. You can almost feel his ethereal energies coursing through it. What effect do you suppose this will have on the Anima?
Speaking of,
warm. At last I feel myself. You would share your aether, your very essence of your being, to support me? Then I, in turn, shall do all I can to support you, going wheresoever you go, even onto the farthest reaches of the realm, if, that is, you will take me as your companion.
Yay, companion. Always have companions.
Yay! Syndrome, I take it the Anima has spoken with you once again?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
It was a comparatively lengthy exchange, was it not? Far longer, certainly, than the scant whispers you described before. This is progress, my friend. Tangible progress. Should our young charge continue to develop at this rate, it may not be long before Gerald and I can converse with it. At last, our goal of a free-thinking weapon is within our reach.
Impressed, are ye? Well, the Anima weapon's just the start. Feast your eyes on this little beauty. Emma. Huh? What? Note? Cindero's off looking for aether oil. I went for a little wander, and this thing found me. I mean, I found it. Note? Any road. Seeing as there ain't much these Allegheny contraptions can't do, I gave it a recipe for making spirits. Let me tell you, the thing's got a real knack for following instructions. You just took a node and turned it into a bartender. With a bit of work, I reckon we could teach it how to make weapons what look like the Anima weapon by the bleeding dozen. They won't be real Anima weapons, of course, on account of there being no spirit inside. But you can be sure they'll still sell. And seeing as how you helped me get here, I'll even let you have 1/2 price. Can't say fairer than that, eh?
Have you no decency? We did not come here to fashion trinkets. We came here to imbue weapons with life. Life that should be respected.
Respected life don't come into it. I came here to pay off me debts, remember? And if that means making a few trinkets, I'll bloody well make 'em, like it or not. Where there's muck, there's money, and I mean to take it.
Drinking may have served to steady your arm, but I see your moral compass remains as wayward as ever. Plainly, there are limits to even alcohol's miraculous powers.
There are severe limits.
But let us set aside Gerald's scheming for the present. Today marks an important milestone in our collective journey, and in your journey especially, Syndrome. The bond you share with the Anima is stronger than ever. Teach it well, and one day soon, the world will look upon the brilliance of our Anima weapon and wonder.
Hyperconductive, Majestus, making it item level 230. Your Anima weapon is now hyperconductive, fortifying your bond with the spirit within. Hyper Animaniac, Majestus. A dream fulfilled. A dream fulfilled. Adashir is lost in thought. Now, to take it one step even further. Well, someday. You'll see. Save your breath, lad. He's been sitting there brooding ever since you left. Surely, I said. Surely, if we let him be, swinging the weapon about as he pleases, the animal will grow on his own. Of course, there's no satisfying him. I don't know what's stirring in that loaf of his, but I wish he'd pay a mind to stirrings elsewhere. Boy could use a distraction. Hells, I could use a nice bosom distraction myself.
For the last time, please do not speak such things. Not everyone shares your deplorable
appetites. You're just young.
But what you say of the Anima weapon is true. In its hyperconductive state, 'tis only a matter of time before the Anima shows new signs of growth. Yet what sort of researcher would I be if I did not search for a way to hasten the process?
Always so serious. So the little lord's found a way to bugger us some more, eh?
Indeed I have, though it will require a trip to Idleshire. My quest to find Charlian researchers there bore no fruit, but I did meet with a young lady whose field of expertise is quite similar to mine own. Her name is Olan. She has a vast knowledge of arcane entities and specializes in the study of carbuncles. In fact, her research concerns the enhancement of these entities with crystals. While not quite as free-thinking as Syndral's Anima, they are of similar nature, perhaps enough for her work to be of use. When last we spoke, she sought an apprenticeship from the self-same Charlian researchers who refused me an audience. Left her waiting in Idleshire even now. Alright, let's go. Inventory. Alright. Equip you. Put you in the armory chest. Fancy carbuncle. What have we here? An admirer of the arcane? A connoisseur of carbuncles? I have none for sale, mind you, but I would be more than willing to tell you about...
Oh, stop right there.
Adashir? Pray forgive me, sir. Had I known you were acquaintance of his... Allow me to start anew. Syndral, was it? I am Olan, a researcher of all matters arcane. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. My luminous companion here is Diamond. Now, exactly how did you come to know my dear Adashir? It would appear I have come late. My apologies. I see you and Syndra have already met. He has been of invaluable assistance in my research on Anima. I see. Before you left Idleshire, you spoke of your preliminary proposal for the Charlians. I would very much like to hear how your work has progressed thus far.
Quick synopsis. Or long synopsis, as long-winded as he is. I like the carbuncle.
You wish to borrow my techniques for crystal absorption and apply them to your anima? Intriguing idea. Though there still remains one rather large obstacle. Arcane entities like Diamond here are comprised almost entirely of aether, which is why I believe that the ethereal energy of crystals can be harnessed to further their growth, basis of my research. This can only be accomplished, however, using crystals with a combination of different elemental aspects. All arcane beings are unique, and thus require a balance of crystals tailored to their composition. Even the slightest error can disrupt their ethereal equilibrium, possibly destroying them in the process. Rather delicate work, To undertake such a project on your own could take weeks, even months, without intimate knowledge of my research. Unless, perhaps we can help one another. Being a researcher yourself, I have no doubt you understand my work requires a great deal of documentation, supplies, and more importantly, test subjects. I might be persuaded to select your Anima as a test subject, should you and your companion choose to assist me. Or if you would rather spend weeks poring over my notes... It's gonna take weeks anyway, pore over the notes. No, I think that is more than fair. Then we agree. You will supply me with literature to supplement my research, and your assistant here will bring me supplies. Here's a list of what I require. I got a list of what you should take right here. Was time together with me such a truly unpleasant proposition? When you put it like that, yeah, if you want to hit on him, hit on him. Don't do it like that. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, supplies for my work. I will not burden you with all that I have listed there. Even one of those items would be a boon. In exchange, I will offer you crystal sand, a reagent of my own creation that should help facilitate the absorption of crystal energies. The process will no doubt require a great deal of sand, but I will happily give you all that you require. Be warned, however, you cannot haphazardly apply the sand as you please. I believe a demonstration would sooner explain my point. Would you be so kind as to call forth this Anima of yours? Come out, Anima. My, what a splendid thing you are. Wait, you can see it? You seem surprised I can see it. Come now, Syndrome. I have devoted my life to the study of arcane creatures of all sorts. As Adashir explained it, the two of you have gone to great lengths to come this far. That I should be unable to see it would be far more surprising. Now, come closer, little one. I have a gift for you. Okay. Yay! Syndrome, this woman means us harm. My body, it fades. We must flee. My apologies. I did not mean to frighten it. Though I must say your Anima is more perceptive than I supposed. As I said before, every arcane creature is unique and requires a certain balance of elements to absorb crystal sand. This sand, however, is at odds with its composition. Rather than waste time probing your Anima to ascertain a proper balance of elements, I propose we treat the crystal sand with umbrite, making it even more expensive for you, and stripping it of its elemental properties. This is by far the safest and quickest way to prepare the sand for consumption. As luck would have it, I found a merchant here in Idleshire who sells it. Hismina, I believe is her name. A single stone and a pouch of crystal sand is all we need to begin. Ah, before I forget, you will need to have the Anima's vessel close at hand when offering up the crystal sand. Mustn't forget it. I suppose this will also be of use. For your purposes, let us call it an Anima glass. It allows me to more closely observe the ethereal balance of my dear Diamond. Should do the same for your Anima. That should do it for explanations. Now begins the grind. First speak with her while equipped with your hyperconductive Anima weapon. This select foster the Anima's growth. She will then take the crystal sand and umbrite to create treated crystal sand, 3 to 6, she'll make every time. This process will be repeated so long as you have the requisite items in your inventory. Treated crystal sand can be used to raise the 5 attributes associated with your Anima as you see fit. The 5 attributes associated with mine are critical hit rate, direct hit rate, determination, piety, and spell speed. You can review the items to be exchanged for crystal sand at any time by accessing Ulan's notes in your inventory.
Moreover, you can view the progress of your anima at any time by accessing the anima glass in your inventory. Alright, now you can see just how crappy this is. Where's the anima glass? It's in Kia, it's in Kia. You can go there. I never cast Repose anyway. Are we going to see that woman again? Treated Crystal Sand. So, Crystal Sand and Umbrite. Alright, Umbrite's the easy one, but it's expensive. It is 75 for one. 75 tombstones for one. This means, all in all, we're going to need between 4,500 and 6,000 tombstones to get the Umbrite. Which means, without the daily, $30 runs of Praetorium, which will take 30 hours. Now, I'm going to be doing other stuff, like playing Outer Worlds and playing Modern Warfare with friends when they get on. That's a lot of runs. That's a lot of runs of Praetorium. The daily will make that less painful because as long as it needs healer, I can get, I believe, 500. Because I'll get extra. So that's part of the grind. That's not even the part of the grind that makes me sad. No. That's the easy part to me. The other part of the grind is we need the crystal sand. Now, you get 2 crystal sand every time you do one of these. You trade in one of these things. Here's the exchange list. I'm going to go over all of these, and you're going to see just how crappy this really is. We will need, if I remember the guide right, 60 to 80 crystal sand, depending on just how lucky we get. The reason for that is because when she makes the treated crystal sand that we use to actually upgrade the thing, this treated crystal sand, every time we make it, it makes between 3 to 6. So if we get lucky and we get 6 more times, we won't need as much Umbrite and crystal sand. If we get unlucky and only make 3 over and over again, then we're going to need more. There's just some RNG to it. But we're going to need crystal sand. So, let's go over the ways we can get crystal sand. We can trade in 5 blue crafter's script. To get these, you have to get 100. To get 5, you need 125 crafter's scripts. Now, I really haven't gone over that, so let me go over that. When we make, when I go to gather, let me change into, let's say, botanist, or this is the crafter script. So let me change it to culinarian, for example. And I do the whole collectible synthesis thing. And I make something a collectible. I make the item, and it becomes a collectible that I can turn in for these scripts. So let's say I make a Kaiser roll, for example. Depending on how well I make it, the collectability, I'll get 7 or 8 crafter scripts. For making one roll. And I need 125 of these. Which means I make 18 Kaiser rolls. Not the 8 at the 7. 18 Kaiser rolls, turn it into scripts, and then I can get 1. I can do this once and get 2 crystal sand. Yeah, that's a lot. I can also do the same thing with gathering. I can do that with botany now. But it's the same process. I go gather the stuff, turn it into collectibles. I gather as collectible, and then go turn them in. This changes every day. So it's about to change. It changes at 3 o'clock my time. As you can see here, 23 minutes remaining. And then this list will change. Now, some you do get more, like this Marion Glaze. It gives 13. But I still have to go get all the stuff and make it. So, for kicks, let's see what I would need to make it. I need 3 dark chestnuts, which I believe are the I can only get from the unspoiled, I believe. Birch syrup and cooking sherry. Hey, cooking sherry, which is a drop in dungeons and people always need it or try to grab it. It's a pain. And I'll need the crystals too, because I'll need fire and ice crystals to make that. So, okay, it's like, okay, whew, that's a lot of stuff. And again, you're getting 100 and, using the example, 18 times to get 2 crystal sand. And we're going to need 60 to 80. Dark chestnuts are normal gathering points, but they're hidden items. Okay, well, it's not as bad, but still, that's a pain. And it's going to take a lot of crystals. Okay, what other things can we do? Well, we can get crafting materials. We can get garland steel, Celestine, and High Alleghany Chimera leather. 1 of each gives us 2 crystal sand. I can't make any of this. Nor do I have any clue what it takes. I'm sure it's a pain. Okay, what else can we do? Amber encased violkin. Whenever you do it's rough. Okay, I figured. And again, 1 of each gives you 2 crystal sand. So you will need between 30. If you were just doing this route, you would need between 30 and 40. Yeah. Okay, Amber encased violkin. Whenever you do a levy quest here in Heaven's Ward, if you find a treasure chest, it's just a low % chance while you're doing the levy quest, a battle levy quest, there is a chance a treasure chest pops up. Open it up, you will get 1 amber encased violkin. So you need 30 to 40 of these, which means if you got a treasure chest every time, 30 to 40 levy quests. Remember, you get 3 every 12 hours. 6 every day. And you'd have to be lucky. Now, I have a bunch of levy quests, but this isn't how I want to burn them all. I'm burning them all leveling up botany. Too bad treasure chests don't show up during those. Darn. But there you go. This one's not bad. You just have to get lucky with levy quests. And it's just time it'll take time over time because, like I said, you only get 6 levy quests a day. Astral aspected materia. If you bring a fire materia 4, a wind materia 4, and a lightning materia 4, congratulations, that gets you 2 crystal sand. I have no clue where to get this. Or you can bring 4 ice materia 4, earth, and water materia 4, 1 of each, gets you crystal sand. no clue where to get those. Breaking stuff and getting demi-materia. 5 moonstones, which you get moonstones from some treasure chest and also for doing the Ixal quest. I actually have a handful of moonstones. But you need 5. They might have actually been removed from the game. Oh, well, we can't do those then. You can bring... That's just insane. You can bring an Inferno Horn, a Crag Heart, and a Diamond Tear from Ifrit Extreme, Titan Extreme, and Shiva Extreme. The Crag Hearts are actually buyable right now for Allegan Tomestones, which is going away in about a week for 4 tomestones apiece. But then I'd still have to go grind out the Inferno Horns and Diamond Tears. Yay! Or you can go Garuda Extreme, Leviathan Extreme, and Remove Extreme. Yeah, because those are things I want to run. If I was farther and I could do them solo, it wouldn't be too bad. You can bring 5 Superior Enchanted Ink and 5 Thavarian Mists, which cost tomestones. You know, that we're already spending 4,500 to 6,000 on the Umbrite that we're going to need. This total for 5 of each, I believe, is 225 tomestones total, which, if you were to just do this and add it in with the other tomestones, you need maximum, like, doing the highball estimate, 13,000 tomestones. Which means you run Praetorium 65 times without the dailies. Allegan Catalyst, which you can get from the alliances. From the alliance dungeons like Labyrinth of the Ancients. And this farthing, which I don't know where you get it from. And you need 5 of the Allegan Catalyst. Or you can turn in 1 identifiable bone, shell, ore, and seed. You know how we did 50 raids and 60 raids. Okay. So 50 raids, 60 raids for the farthing. 1 of each of the seed or shell bone, which again either takes doing dailies for like Ixal and all that, because you saw me get all these already, or more tomestones. This one's even more expensive tomestone wise because this is 600, because they're 150 a piece. So 600 tomestones. Or again, you can use tribal currency. I burned on my black copper gill already to do this the first time. To get all the ore, I believe it was. Yeah, those are your options, and they all suck. And again, that's just for this. Remember, we're going to have to go run Praetorium 30 times. Unless we just do it, you know, get 500 a day. Or 400 a day. I think it's 500. And just over time, get the tomestones we need. That's it. This is just grindy. It just super makes you work for it. This one we put on the hyperconductive and update gear set. Yep. So there's that. I don't know what else moonstones are used for. I don't know if they're used for anything else other than here. Because I could at least get a few crystal sands. Then I have the fun part of choosing what stats I want to up, which I really don't know. I don't think I need direct hit rate. Maybe critical hit? And we can do 240 points. That's the deal. Every treated crystal sand gives you 1 point. So probably piety. I want to put a bunch into determination and spell speed. I don't know. I haven't even thought that far ahead. Like, where do I want to put the points? Because getting the sand is going to be a pain in the butt. So there you go. I will work on that over time. Like, I might try the Violcan method. I might just super grind out scripts one day. Because just to test it out, I did botanist, and I went and got cedar logs because I know I can just grind those. But I turned them in for 5 apiece. Most of the time I was getting 5. So I got 39 scripts. I did it for a little while. And then you have to turn them in one at a time, which is just a pain. So, yep. That's the thing that we're going to be dealing with eventually. Like I said, that might be a while before I break down and super grind it out. If you had all the Realm Reborn beast tribes in the last stage, except Ixal, you could burn all your daily allowances to get 1 set of unidentifiable items. Yay! Which means you can get 1 a day. You get 2 crystal sand a day. That rate will only take you about a month. So, that's the deal, right? Like, all of these just take time. It's just going to take time. Speaking of Beast Tribe, though, we do have the next Beast Tribe for the Vanu. After I do one of these quests, anyway, we will. Like, whatever you end up doing, it's just going to be super grindy. Super grindy and take like a month plus. And again, I'm not going to be super actively working on it, so it's probably going to take me longer.
Okay, destroy Edamon Disco.
But I can't grab it while on this thing.
There's still one more I need to get.
Alright, that one's done.
One.
Oh, hi. Oh, that finishes that one. You cannot stop us, Netherling! Yes, I can. I absolutely can. Oh, those are done. Cat's foot. Turn that in later then. Alright.
Fishing for friendship. Linuvali is cooking up a plan to improve relations with the Zundu. Central, it is as Linuvali fears. Ever since Brother visits Chief Sonu, the relationship between Zundu and Gundu is tense. We must do something before tension grows into animosity, disrupting all Gundu and Zundu work together for. Linu thinks upon problem for many sunrises, and decides that Gundu shall hold a feast for Zundu. To treat friends to banquet is meaningful act among Vanu. When we gather around blazing cooking fires, all grudges wash away like tears in rain. Linu is to prepare fish for the main course, so she goes to Vor Saran to make a catch even Inu Vanu envies. Food that the cook catches with her own talents is all the more delicious. However, as essential as the fish is the seasoning, and Linu wants to impress, so she asks Sindro to gather a mineral most precious, Albathayan rock salt. Vandu hold the Cloud Sea's entire supply, so Sindro must venture deep within Oke Vanduvana to where their storehouses lie. Search them and bring back most pure chunk you can find. Linu needs time and concentration to make suitable catch, so she asks that Sindro give the rock salt to brother. Watch, Sindro. Linu returns with Cloud Sea's most succulent fish. Food is best way to be friends. It really is. Oh. Hi. I've been bad about doing these, the clan marks lately. Doing the dailies for those. Cool, I only needed one. Unclouded rock salt. Got it. Also, Vinny Vandu Vichy. Greetings, Netherling. Sister says to expect something from you, although she not say what is. Salt. Abathan rock salt? And as cloudless as clear summer skies. To obtain such a mineral is no easy task. What does Sister hope to use this for? A feast? And Sister prepares the main dish, no less? It is just like her to put on a brave face, but as mist after spring rain, her courage is often fleeting. But it is not Linu Vanu's place to doubt her. It is because of my rudeness at OK Zundu that she goes to such trouble. It is shameful that my actions burden her so. Sister changes, it is plain to see. Not long ago, she clutches at Linu's feathers, fearful to wander too far from my gaze. But now, her conviction to build our new home spurs growth, so much that Linu sometimes does not recognize her. I thank you for standing by Sister's side during this time, Netherling. Alas, although Sister is no longer a frightened nestling, to leave her alone in the wilds brings Linu Vanu worry. For all Sister's conviction, she is delicate, with arms like branches of birch tree. Edemion stalk the skies, and beasts worse still skulk in the waters. As chief, Linu Vanu must watch over village. Netherling, pray visit Vorsan Saran and see she is safe. Actually, I'll do this. We can turn this in. Yep, need firewood, but here's the stuff you want. Authentic Vanu cat's food chew. Then give yourself a deal. Made from wildflowers, you know, and the texture is just sublime. Can't get enough of these things. More than happy to trade. I have more firewood than we know what to do with right now. Take as much as you like. Hells, take as much as you can. I take a whole bunch for them. Game won't let me do it. Is scared. Clump cloudworm. Food. Syndra, thank you for rescuing Linu yet again. Cloud fishing requires patience and focus. Linu's surroundings fade into background until there is only the fishing line and lure. I understand. Linu does not hear the cloudworm steal upon her. Maybe the worm smells Linu's catch. Fish is so plump. Leftovers from feast feed tribe for moons. Come, Syndra, let us return to Okegundu Naki before meat spoils. If y'all try to crash the party, there's one thing I don't mess around with, and that's food. So help me, if you do something to the food, you're all gonna lose. Brother gives Linu Valley rock salt, Syndra takes from Vandu. With such rich seasoning, fish will be the talk of Okezundu for moons to come. And now, Linu Valley cooks. A course, Syndra is welcome to feast as guest of honor. Yay, guest of honor. Does Sanu know why Honu, chief of Vandu, wears such ornate mask? The mask is symbol of his power, no? Chief Honu wants others to believe so, but Linu knows true reason. He masks the feathers on his head, which are thinner than newborn hatchlings. It's getting old. Because it's super old. They both laugh. Many times, Chief Onu and Sonu sit around fires such as this. Sonu still remembers well the power of his dance. He moves with the intensity of the sun itself, and drives all darkness into hiding. Linu wishes to one day dance with father's figure, both to honor his memory and to protect Okegundu Naki. Linu Valley may still be young, but Sanu knows she will become a great member of the Gundu tribe. Maybe one day she becomes chief. Chief Sanu makes Linu Valley blush. Linu is but a nestling still. It is but a joke, Linu. All Zandu praise feast, particularly the fish. We look forward to sharing many meals together in coming moons. Of course, Syndra is welcome to sit alongside the cooking fires with us anytime. Okegundu Naki's principal structures have been completed, and the Zandu have sent flowers in celebration. Respected. 3 additional quests today. When the Giddings Gundu. Okay, let's turn these in. Okay. Let's see where that puts us. So I need... Six days. So in about a week, we'll be able to do the Vanu Vanu. Could do the next part of the Cobalt. I love it. I love the quest names in this game so much. Because I'd like to do Vath. I'd like to get Vath done. I guess I'll wait on Cobalt. I'll take these.
The cat's meow. Rotten to the core again. Easy as Paisa? So it's Paisa, maybe? That's really easy as pie. Okay, I'll take those 3 and then I'll take the ones from the bath as well. Let's see, where are we going? Okay, all over there. Yes! Gamefly sent Outer Worlds. Heck yeah. Hopefully they won't take a week for it to get here. Sometimes it's bad because mail here is goofy. But with luck, I'll have it soon. Thank you for these, Master Dragon Soul. And smell absolutely delicious. I can never eat all this myself. Troops out on patrol are far more deserving of it. Do me one small favor and take it out to them. I've no doubt they'll be glad for the sustenance. Crones, cat's food, choose. Noise! Crap. Oh! Fancy one. Tempting, but I don't know if I'd be able to kill it easily, or if we'd be sitting here for the next 15 minutes. Oh, why not? We can see, right? Okay, this one's not bad. This might be a B rank then. I forget the color for the symbols. To know which one's which. That's done. Trail routes are far too long. We all end up so tired and hungry before we're finished. If we ran into something dangerous, there'd be no way to fend up. A soft, sticky confection filled with ground cat's foot leaves to give a bright emerald green color, just like grandmother used to make. Gift from the Vanu Vanu? I do hope it's food. Her Vanu cuisine must be tasty to believe. And, besides, army marches on its stomach, you know. It's true. dig hole. Okay, did it. Lie in wait until a Paisa falls in for the trap. Okay, because they're silly. Yay! Fell into trap. Did it. do 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 do. Yay! Won the battle. Sack, sack. Puts in sack. Did it. Has need of a strong, energetic Paisa, but due to his responsibilities to the tribe, he has not been able to undertake tasks for capturing such wily prey. Not that wily. Okay, that's done. Unparalleled honor of a sentinel, tirelessly guarding the Rose Knights from the greatest threats of the realm. Gods, I'm so bored. Like he's trying to talk himself into it, but it's just like, oh, I'm bored. Huh? Gundu sent me a gift? Well, it smells decent enough. And now it'll provide some distraction from the mind-numbing drudgery of watching nothing happen all day. Totally taking a nap. Rest my eyes, sir! Oh, you're not the commander? What? Have some for me? Gift from the Gundu? Food, too! Thank the gods. Now I have the energy to get through the rest of my shift without dozing off. Hi. Oh, you too. Excellent. That finishes that. Easy peasy. Anything else? Sea of Clouds. No, I did that one. Okay, cool. It's like, while I'm here... Alright, let's go back. Good, good. The other knights seem to love our food, so Lenovani makes cat food stew with ancient recipe passed down through generations. Fragrance is more heavenly than smell of newly cropped grain, or fresh woven cloth drying in the afternoon sun, and flavor is even better. Gorgons? Yes. We're gently bearing a barometer for beauty in the creatures. This particular specimen would most certainly rank high among Corrigan enthusiasts. Okay.
Vanu struggles like star flower in summer storm. You harvest Korrigans without difficulty. Vanu Valley treats wives of OK Zandu to a traditional Gundu feast. Netherlands' gift of Korrigans, when sliced and marinated in honey, provides finishing touch that completes perfect Gundu banquet. Oh, okay. For food. Okay. Yes. What do you need the, Proposals as to why this particular paisa practically percolates with perkiness are pending. Yes, yes, many things. Fluffy like summer storm cloud. Sprightly with the zephyr wind. Manuvani wins for certain now. Cannot lose with this perfect paisa. What? Perhaps Manuvanu gets carried away. Friend from OK Zandu lays challenge in Payasa fight, and to lose brings shame to all Gandu. Although we owe Zandu great debt, we cannot let them win. Honor of whole tribe depends on fight. I train this Paisa to defeat Zandu Paisa without mercy. Okay. Venture, starflower, birch sap. Wind up Gundu warrior. He weighs far less than he appears. I should be saving money, but I'm doing it. Cold Night's Cook Fire. Okay. Have fun in your Pokemon battle. Alright. That was fun. Wait, I have something here. Sea of Clouds. I say I have botany stuff here now. I shall train it to be the very best. Yes, honor is at stake. Which was this one? Bold and blue. Level 60. Bright blue cloud. I'm Texan, so that's true. Honor lies in stake. Oh, you're gonna be lame and go all over the place, huh? missed one. 2. By 2. Alright, let's do the other one. Oh, you're in a really uncool spot. Alright, initiate, yes. Deemed a failure if too few are gathered. Okay. That changes things. Boy, you've also got put all over the place. So there's 48. I have to get 32. Heck yeah, I got most of those swings. Nice. Using Blessed Harvest can make a big difference. I had to eat before I did this. Enough to give me a percent. Right on the thing, come on. Yeah, the ones in the Sea of Clouds are a pain. They're not all next to each other. Like in the other places so far. They really spread them out here.
Yay! Alright, teleport to Tail Feather. These two, I'll go ahead and mark these two as well. Alright, 2 view. I wasn't getting this much last night. I did several levy quests last night. Oh, come on. 84. That was stupid. I missed half those. And I was getting to where you just do them. There was no chance of failure. Unless you ran out of time, but you shouldn't run out of time. So stupid. 4 in a row. 84%. So stupid.
Screw you, game.
Oh, I should have taken that one. Oh well, that's fine. Alright, let's get the Vanu quest out of the way. Bugging the bugs. These are like the first ones you get. You gave me all like the first Vath quest today. This poor guy. By the gods, it's everywhere. Back to the roots. Just move, NPC. Can't do that.
done.
Although quite a bit stronger to fight these bears now. Than I was back then.
Alright, we'll just turn all this in. And base tribe stuff will be done for today.
Nah, I feel the same way about all of my stuff. I really should upgrade my gear before doing this. I feel like I just need to get to 60 with classes and then look at getting 60 gear. That's done. I suffer because it's a pain to get better gear.
This one's easy for me, at least.
Easy. Alright. Now we turn all this in. Collect rewards. In the outfield 3. 25% bonus, nice. With an axe in hand 2. Oh, buff for this one. Almost. Almost level 57. Let's see. From the levy quest, also you get some stuff while you're doing it. You get a little bit of EXP, but just turning them all in, I got about 1.5 mil. I'm down to 75 levy quests. I've just been taking them all because I don't want to just do the level 50. Sure, the level 56 ones get more, and I'd get more for my allowances. But that means I just do 2 and then teleport back here and turn it in. Whereas I've been flying to each, these anyway, the first sets, the 50, 52, 54, just flying from one area to another because they all link. And you're just doing it that way. So. Also, the fire crystals have been wanting fire crystals. So, almost 57. I still just have my level 50 stuff. That's fine. Well, we're here in town. Plenty more fish in the sea. And then... I can check with the, it's after 3, my time. Holy Cedar 1. Dalamal Fiscal, 3 of those. 10 cone flowers, and a kissing trout, which I do have 1. And get some extra EXP that way. Sandra, you came! Warm welcome to Ishgard. Well, as warm as it gets up here, anyway. Ready to learn all about my favorite fishing holes? It'll soon be the end of the stormy season at Cothuras, so we'll be able to fish to our heart's content without being frozen solid. Come back in a little while, and I'll show you some of the perfect places to catch the finest fish in the north. Next fish, of course, will be at 53. Almost leveled. Because at 51, I'll be able to buy new fishing gear.
Fortress hat is better, but I like the way the Polar's hat looks. Anything else to do? I mean, there's lots of stuff to do, but anything else I want to do for this stream? They're done. I guess I can go check on them. Clear prisms. I don't need to put those in the field thing. Well, all the other stuff is grindy. Like I need to run Praetorium for today and stuff like that. Guess I'll end the stream here. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a lot of fun. Tomorrow, probably story. I think we'll... might get back into the story. I might do something random. I'm not sure yet. I might do like Void Arc. I might do stuff like that.
do that thing. That could be fun. Well, I don't have that quest, so... I don't know. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. Yeah. See y'all later.